Hello, we're back.
Oh,
We're the Hardcover Hooligans. And Mac, I have a question for you
Yes,
about
yes.
this week's book.
yes.
Okay, so if you became a god because you brought something into our society that never existed before, what would it be?
Beer. Ham's beer primarily.
Could you imagine you were like an alien, like you just here it is, and everyone's like, "Oh
Holy
my god,
shit! You've irrevocably changed our way of life.
So the astute among you may notice that the title of this episode is not Iron Flame Part 2. It is the word for world is forest, which is not the sequel to Fourth Wing.
No, and it's also not after the first 100 pages of Iron Flame is not the entire novella. The word for world is forest.
Yeah, you don't have some sort of like horribly misprint.
No.
Copy.
Nope. We're taking a break.
Yeah, if you listen to the previous episode, you can sort of tell by the tone of that we were not pleased about things in the book and art and life, and there are good reasons for that. But before we get into it, I just want to say right up top, thank you everyone for listening.
Yes.
If you like the show, tell your friends, leave us a review. It really helps.
Yeah.
Send us an email. Let us know your thoughts. We love to hear from you. Yeah.
Yep, and we won't dox you. We're not going to send out your information.
Yep.
So just please send us an email. You can remain anonymous.
And if you have a good recommendation, we might read it, because God knows we'll read anything on the show.
Shout out to the person who did have some, by the way.
Yes.
Sent in an email. Thank you.
It is under review.
But thank you for still listening. Send an email before our big long break and is still listening. So that's very nice. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
The word for world is forest.
Yes.
By Ursula K. LeGuin.
Yeah.
A short book.
A very short book, 187 pages maybe on these two editions right here.
Yeah. Yeah, if you put two of them together, it's a little bit longer.
It's a longer book.
Published 1972.
Wow.
I know. 50 years ago. What stood out to me reading about sort of the background of this book is this was sort of Ursula K. Le Guin's response to the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And like us exploiting the natural world for financial gain. And I'm like, it's been 50 years and we've learned nothing.
No.
We've learned absolutely nothing.
Wait, Danilo, I'm picking up you and you're picking up me in there.
A little bit.
Here. Hey. See?
Yeah.
Is that fine?
I think that's fine.
All right, never mind. We're leaving that in. Sorry, I just figured out maybe my headphones haven't been plugged in correctly this entire time, so now I can hear the podcast, because for a while I was just flying by the seat of my pants a little bit.
Yeah, you were just talking. You didn't know what you were saying.
I know. That's what I felt like last week. Let me just get ahead of this.
Let's address the iron flame shaped elephant in the room.
Do I really think if you like that book, there's something wrong with you? No. No, I don't. Obviously, that would be insane. I think it was more just to the point of, I do think if you think it's good, you're wrong, but you're allowed to like it. Maybe is what I should have said, but I was pretty angry. And also, let me just say this also, that was before we recorded that. When did we record it? I mean, certainly after Renee Good was murdered.
Yes. About probably a week after that.
A week after. And then that next weekend, or the two weekends later, Alex Preddy was murdered, of course. And so it's just been, I haven't picked up the book since I read the 100 pages, because I'm not gonna do that. And also, this book is topical. We wanted to talk about, as we said in the last episode. I guess if you don't listen to all of the episodes, we record the podcast in uptown Minneapolis,
where we also live. We don't commute in to record this podcast.
Which is where, if you've been, are alive, I'm sure you know about Operation Metro Surge and all of that. And so we wanted to talk about it because we live here, but we didn't just want to do an episode where we just talk about it.
Yeah.
So we find like a book that is also good and also relevant. And I don't know if it made me feel any better, but
it probably certainly didn't fill you with as much rage as
no.
Iron Flame.
No, it did not. So yeah, we're reading the word for world is forest.
Say that 5 times fast.
The word for word is fuck. The word
Ursula spinning in her grave.
And the word spinning.
Because of this, nothing else. She's having a blast down there.
I've never seen a dead woman have more fun in a grave. The word for, do you know what the word for world is in the language?
Isn't it at she?
Yeah, it is. Nicely done. Nicely done. Nicely done.
I also read it.
I was just testing. Maybe you missed it. Yes, but this is a book about military colonization. It is also where Ewoks come from.
And also probably the movie Avatar.
Yes. Yes. I was thinking that the entire time, and then I pulled up the Wikipedia page. I have it right here, and I did not know it was a actual thing that she has commented on.
Oh yeah, I
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Which I was reading, I was like, can they do this?
The concept of Ursula K. LeGuin having seen the movie Avatar is insane to me.
It makes me very sad. But she missed the way of water.
The way of water. Well, so did I. So
I always mix up that title in the Guillermo del Toro fish movie.
Shape of water.
Shape of water. The shape of the way is water. You know what I mean? You know,
and that's when you have sex with a blue fish man.
Yes, via its ponytail.
Yeah. And
it's not sex, Danilo.
Oh, it's what, like connection?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Woke. Okay, so this book, now I started reading it and I'm like, this book is about as subtle as an axe to the face.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It starts out with what I would mere weeks ago have considered a gross caricature and over-exaggeration of a racist colonial military man. But now I have a better understanding that, these people do exist and they are actually like this.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Also just the way the narrative, so he's not the main character. He's also not the antagonist, but he's
one of the point of view characters.
Yes, his name is Don Davidson. Davidson for all of it. He gets
Captain
called
Davidson,
Don twice. The narratorial voice for Don is very like it's like this, and it's like the right way like Trump tweets. And like reading it, I was like, I wonder if like reviewers at the time were like, boy, this is a little heavy-handed. But I mean, just like Pam Bondi is just saying this stuff,
right?
And so it's crazy. And I'm sure that is not to say, obviously, people, the Hawks during Vietnam were saying this stuff too, but just like behind closed doors.
Yeah, it's like we all have hours and hours of video and text confirming that like horribly racist psychopaths speak and think this way.
Yeah.
And so like we know that like, it didn't feel new.
I will say though, very fun character to read because the whole time you're like, when are these Ewoks going to rip this guy apart? But then when you're already thinking that, you're like, well, it's already
maybe they shouldn't.
And they don't.
Yeah, I loved that. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So he is like leading a logging camp.
Oh, hang on. Wait,
okay. This is a sci-fi book.
Yes. And it takes place in the pre-established Hainish cycle reverse.
Yes.
Which we read The Dispossessed.
And this is technically a sequel.
Yes, it is. It is. And it to bring you up to speed, we talked about it when we read The Dispossessed, but the Hainish cycle posits a world in which like mankind was not born on Earth. They were born on Hain, which is this planet. They've colonized Earth. And
the Hainish have like spread throughout the universe, and like there's pockets of different genetically the same humans, but like look different and act different.
But on Earth, there are like, I mean, a guy even talks
people,
about it. He's like, in the 20th century, my people were doing these guerrilla tactics. And you're like, okay, so the Hainish people spread to Earth and then just did like, the humans just did all the same stuff.
The same stuff, yeah. That's why they call this place New Tahiti.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which is an insane name.
And then later, there's like a whole thing where there's like a new government and they call it World 41, and our racist guy's like, I thought New Tahiti was a perfectly fine name. And you're like, this is
what is happening. Oh my God.
It's literally like renaming streets that were named after Confederate generals and stuff. It's like, I thought Robert E. Lee Boulevard was awesome.
Captain Davidson would have hated Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yes, he would have. But our boy Raj Leabov would have loved it.
Yeah,
he would have.
He's an anthropologist. He loves knowledge. And anyway, okay. A group of humans has traveled from Earth for many years to get to this planet that is like a big forest because there's no more natural trees on Earth because it's been completely logged. And they're like, woohoo, here's a world that's full of trees. And it's not entirely full of trees. It's like mostly water.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of like big islands and small islands that are like completely covered with forest. There's like nothing that's not forest, basically.
There are no naturally occurring deserts on this world.
Yes.
It's either water or forests.
And the humans come across this quote unquote alien species that lives here. And because the first chapter is from the point of view of Captain Davidson, he calls them creatures.
Yeah.
And so the whole time you're wondering, like, what are these creatures?
Yeah.
They are literally little green men.
Yes. They're Ewoks.
Yeah.
From Star Wars.
Yep.
Except that they're Ewoks. I mean, I guess they do have their own language in Star Wars, but they're more like, they're little green ape men.
Yeah, they're like green. They're a meter tall.
Yeah.
They're green and furry.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep.
They're awesome.
They're fantastic.
And the first chapter of the book makes it seem like they are sort of mindless creatures who live on this planet.
Yeah, because the humans have like used them for how do they phrase it?
They say volunteer labor.
Oh yeah, right. Like the like indigenous, like
it's like autochthonous
volunteer brigade or something.
Yeah.
And so they've enslaved these guys.
Yeah,
and they are. We learn the reason they're so like they seem like sort of out of it and like not really active is their like natural sleep cycle is different, so they like haven't adjusted to the 8-hour workday, so they're always really tired.
Yeah.
And two, they are like non-violent, like they don't know what violence is, basically.
Right. They do have like they talk about later. There are like they use this word psychopathic. Their aliens are called Athsheans or Athshayans or whatever. They do say like, yeah, there are like fringe cases of psychopathy through them, but they are a non-violent species. At least, I think this book starts 4 years after the logging was started.
Yeah, something like that.
So they've had 4 years of subjugation, but recently our American hero Don Davidson came under attack by one of them.
Yes. Yep.
That happens before the start of it.
Yep.
You don't learn this right away. He's like, he just attacked me for no reason. And then you're like, that wasn't no reason. But the book presents like he was attacked in the street by this guy's personal butler, Athshean. The guy's name is Raj Leabov, and he's like an anthropologist, and he's a human. And he had this guy that he called Sam, but his real name is Selver.
Who's a native Athshean.
Yeah.
He's a little green guy.
And he attacked Captain Davidson and wouldn't like stop attacking him even when like he was like pummeling his face in and
Davidson beat up this little guy, but the little guy would not stop fighting.
Yeah.
And so Davidson's like, that was crazy.
Yep. And so that happened. So he's thinking about that and he's sort of walking through. We get his point of view. We don't learn exactly that he's also like a human racist yet.
Right.
That comes later. He's just like walking around this logging camp and he's like, God, look at this beautiful logging camp. And they don't have any women on this planet yet.
And they get some great news for them. Huh?
Yeah, there's like 500 young women who get shipped to this planet for the purposes of breeding.
Yeah.
One would hope that's a voluntary thing back on planet Earth, but I doubt it. And so he goes to the Centralville, so this is the big city in the middle. It's really a street with some buildings on it.
It's like a Wild West camp.
Yeah.
And so like he was in a different place and he's like, the ladies are here.
Yep.
So he takes his
Hopper.
It's like Hopper, which is like the Vietnam helicopter.
Yes.
Flying there is like, oh yeah,
I'm gonna get laid. And then he shows up and he gets laid, and then on his way back, the whole camp, he gets
back there, everyone's dead. Yes. The place is burned down.
Yes. The logging camp has been burned to the ground. Everybody's dead. He lands. He sees like 4 of them walking, and one of them is the Athshean that he had some issues with earlier, Selver, and they let him go. And then you're like, boy, that's weird. And then the next chapter is you learn everything about the Athsheans, and you're like, oh my god.
I thought it was really funny when Davidson realizes that, or sees like the camp's been burned down. He's like, okay, so some other race of aliens is here and they did this, or like some other human camp has like rebelled and did this. Like the last thing on his mind is that these little green guys have done this.
Yep. They let him leave specifically to carry a message.
Yeah, he's got to be like, he's like, hey, we did this. Stop messing with us.
Yep. So then, Selver, we get our next point of view character. There's three of them. Davidson, Selver, and Lyubov are our 3 point of view characters.
Yeah. And immediately you're like, okay, so these are people.
Yeah.
Because the last chapter, he only refers to them as creatures. Like, you don't really learn the word Athshean for a little bit. So you only see like his point of view, and we learn everything about them.
Yep. They are this group, this race of alien beings, humanoid alien beings.
Well, and I think they're genetically identical to humans.
They're from
they are humans. They just like
cradle of humanity of Hain or whatever. They have this thing where they sort of exist in 2 brain realms at once, the real world and the dream world. And so, they like divine information through their dreams, and that's how they live their life.
And I think it's really cool. You don't find this out till later, after you have like Lyubov talking about it, because you have this like very human militaristic point of view, and then you go to like Selver's point of view, and he's like, oh, I dreamed this, or like we dreamed to each other, and you're like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
We also learn, so the reason that Selver did this, and what sort of the straw that broke the camel's back is that Davidson raped and killed Selver's wife.
Yeah.
And it's Davidson being like, why the heck would this guy have any problem with me? Which is just insane.
Yeah. Later in the book, when that's revealed, it's sort of, you don't know. It says narratorially, like, we don't know if he literally killed her or she just sort of like gave up,
lost the will to live. Yeah.
But either way, he killed her. And so that's why Selver did that. And it seems like, I don't know, I took his relentlessness to attack him as like, this guy, none of these people have ever been in this sort of situation before or felt these sorts of feelings before. So you don't know, your body is not attuned to like the natural, like, oh, I've lost this fight. Which Davidson interprets as like, oh my God, they're crazy lunatics, but they've never ever had to fight, like attack and fight somebody before.
Like, yeah, ever.
They hunt like animals. They have like spears and bows.
Well, and the thing with like from Selver's point of view, because like these humans are here like literally ripping up their world to like send somewhere else and like enslaving them, and like they have no sense of like connection or force. Well, he talks about like the humans dreaming, because so Selver and Lyubov had this like relationship, and so like they learned each other's languages, so that's why like Selver can talk to Davidson. And he sort of talks about, or Selver talks about how like how crazy these humans are, and like they only dream at night, and they can't control what they dream, and also their dreams don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And so with the Athsheans, it's sort of like that's how they sort of communicate with each other and sort of like imagine different things, and how they like commune with nature, and how they like there's different lodges in each tribe, and it's like the men go into this lodge and have like their dreams, and then like the women have their lodge, and they like interpret those dreams and like make them real or something like that. Like it's this whole and they refer to it as like the dream world, like this happened in the dream world, and then like this happened in the real world, or the
waking world.
I don't remember. It's like the now world or something. I'll find it.
But yeah, they in the humans, I mean, obviously they dream at night when they sleep, but they wake up and they can't remember their dreams. And I thought something interesting. Lots of sci-fi books around this time do this thing where they, like marijuana is legal, which I always appreciate. Tons of 60s and 70s sci-fi books exist in a world where marijuana is legal, and hallucinogens are legal.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about
and
this.
And so the humans do these. They call them Halleys, but they're hallucinogens. And when the Athsheans see the humans on the hallucinogens, they're like, "Oh, that's the dream," but they don't have any control over it. So they can dream with this substance, but they don't have any power over their dreams. And the Athsheans are great at having control and power over their dreams, which is how they're able to derive specific meaning from them.
And I think it's important, like, humans, like, as humans, like, we don't really value our dreams. Like, they don't really have any sort of like cultural or societal impact at all. But like for the Athsheans, like, that's their whole thing. And like that is sort of what connects them so much with like each other and with nature, to the point where like they don't want to hurt each other. They've like, for, like, the anthropological thing is they've like developed competitive singing instead of like fighting. So they just sing, and then one was like, "Well, I lost." They've like never had a war,
which is what Selvar does to Davidson when he has him like dead to rights. Instead of killing him, they just sing.
Because Davidson does. It's like you're laying on your back with like your neck outstretched, and that's like the surrender. That's like the "I've lost." And Davidson like, "These fucking idiots, let me go."
Yep, what a moron.
So after the destruction of this camp, Davidson goes back and they have a conference with all the other people who were in charge of like the human colony on this planet. And I don't remember what happens.
So two gentlemen are there too.
Is this a couple of gentlemen? This all happened at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A
couple of gentlemen show up on a different planet, or from a different spaceship, and they're from Hain and Tau Ceti. So we get our, just like, the Dispossessed himself. What was his name? I don't remember. Space Oppenheimer. He's Hainish, and so is this guy, and then this other alien man from Tau Ceti. They're there, and they're like,
Shevek.
Yes.
Who I don't think is Hainish.
Oh, he's not?
No.
That doesn't take place on Hain?
No, they're on Anaris, is the anarchist moon. Classic.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
Uras.
I forgot about the two moons.
Yeah.
So these emissaries show up. They say, "Hey, listen, guys. So some stuff has changed. This is what happens when you're on a planet
in the 12 years since you left Earth."
Yep. Well, 27 years. It's 54 years round trip.
Oh,
27 years since you've left Earth. So it took these guys 27 years. They're like, a lot's different. There's a league of planets now, and it's like one big super galactic government. And so we've got new rules, and we came with this cool device. And so now you can instantaneously chat with people back on Earth instead of it needing to take, I think the messages take like 14 years or something to go in between
back
planets.
And forth. Yeah.
So they're like,
Ansible, courtesy of our friend Shevek from The Dispossessed, because he invents that. So this is a sequel, which I loved. That made me happy.
I hope Shevek's doing all right. So they say, "Yep, there's all these new laws.
We can't enslave the natives.
Yep,
and we have to be nice.
You have to stop doing everything you're doing.
You have to stop totally exploiting this planet."
Yep, the slave labor. Well, they ask, they're like, "Are you doing slave labor?" And Colonel Dong is like, "No." And then Leewell's like, "Yes, we are. We just call it like voluntary labor."
Yeah, we keep them in cages.
Yeah. And the guys from the other planet's like, "Oh, well, that has to stop now." They say that this was actually for a different planet, but it's obvious you guys need it right now. And we're going to be back in 3 years. And then we'll reassess the situation. But from now on, you have to do like your daily reports and stuff literally to like Earth High Command every day. And that's where you'll get your new orders from.
And Captain Davidson hates this.
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
He is racist to everyone in the meeting.
Yeah, this is where we learn that he's a human racist too.
Yeah.
Because he's like, Asiatic people, they're just like born traitors. It's not their fault.
Yeah, because Colonel Dong, who's like in charge of the colony, Captain Davidson's like, of course he's gonna do it because like he's a rule follower, which like I don't which like I respect, but also like aren't all Asian people just rule followers?
Yes.
And you're like, oh my god,
yeah, new wrinkles.
He always calls him Ding Dong.
Yeah, which is not
Jesus
good.
Christ.
So
but again, not an exaggeration or overkill at all.
Yeah, I know. So he says, okay, I'm going to do that. And then he gets sent away to a different camp. And then at night, he takes his boys, his friends he's made at this camp, and he goes out and he murders more
immediately he's
men.
like, so if I'm going to do an insurrection, I need to make friends with these guys and have them all bond with each other through violence.
Yep.
So like they raid and pillage like small Ashian settlements in the forest, which strictly you're not supposed to do under the new rules, but he doesn't care.
And this part I thought was interesting. They start to talk about them as like animals. And so there's a moment where Davidson is like, no, we're not going to rape them. That's like raping an animal. You would never do that. But then, the book is like, he did do that.
Well, didn't some guy say something like, didn't someone actually ask him that? He's like, well, then if you do
they
that.
ask him in that meeting.
Yeah.
Because he's like, the book goes out of its way to make him not a homophobe, which I thought was funny. He's like, homosexuality is fine. That's between humans, but this is like tantamount to bestiality. And people are like, yeah, but you did it. And like people do it all the time.
Right. They also like the book goes out of its way to be like, okay, so Hainish people and other people and like Terran people and Ashians are all genetically human. They're all like the same. There's just different variants. And he's still like, that's just something like a sneaky Hainish person would say. Like, who knows if this world government is even real or if it's just a way for the Hainish to get one over on us.
Yeah, he's like, any well-trained soldier would immediately begin to question those orders. Like, are you a traitor? Like what?
He's just insane.
Yeah, he's a lunatic. But Lyubov, the next chapter is from Lyubov's perspective, and he goes to visit the Athshean town. And now, in between each chapter, like a year passes, and then like 6 weeks.
Some time, yeah.
Some time passes, and so Lyubov goes to the Athshean town he has been going to as an emissary. They say you're not allowed to make contact with them unless they reach out to you, and you say like they're like going to set up a meeting. And so Lyubov makes that happen. And he goes to this place where the destruction of the camp, everything has been fine. But now things are not fine. And he does like Lyubov doesn't know everybody's still pissed at him because of Davidson going out and doing this stuff.
Yes.
But people aren't talking to him. He sees a bunch of strangers in the camp, which I thought was fun. He even recognized he's like a good enough anthropologist to recognize that these other Athsheans are strangers to this place. There's like a huge gathering of them.
Yeah, there's like more than normal, and there's like some that like look at him suspiciously. And like, yeah, so the Athsheans are still mad at the humans because Davidson keeps doing these raids, but no one who's in charge of like the Earth colony knows that those raids are happening. So they think like, oh, we're fine. Like we'll log our little spots. Oh, they like also limited the logging.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, so no more like raising the ground, and they just like plant like a bush.
But yeah. Yeah.
And like this is the same.
And Davidson even hates the bushes. He's like, these fucking pussy bushes.
We should just leave it bare ground, like back home on Earth.
Yeah, like that's a good thing. Meanwhile, Selver, after coming back from the camp, having witnessed and done violence for the first time, is given the honorific of God. Because there is a new god, Sha'ab, which means translator, but is for all intents and purposes, Selver has become the Athshean god of war.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's just horrific to think about.
Or just like violence. And like, and he like, even like Lyubov recognizes like, oh, Selver's like different now. Like he has like this weight and he's sort of like depressed.
Yeah.
Like he'll do a violent thing like this attack, and then he'll be like out of commission for like 2 months because his brain like can't deal with that, and he's like, this is the load I must bear for my people.
A great part of this is he goes and visits Selver. Selver's like, hey Lyubov, it's really good to see you. You got to leave Centralville in 2 days, and then they like walk away.
Yeah, it's very don't come to school tomorrow.
Lyubov is remembering this on like the hopper back to like his house, and then he's like, oh, he's just like talking about like what he's gonna put in his report, and then he like goes to sleep, and then he wakes up and hears like the explosions and everything, and the book is like, and then he he was the only person in the camp not surprised at hearing the bombs and the explosions and knew at that moment he was a traitor, which is, I guess, technically true, but you did the right thing, I think.
Well, I think he also said he's like, I put in the report what they expected me to put in the report.
I did the science thing. I did not put any subjective feelings about anything. I said I saw the same people. I said I even saw the guy I talked to, and they treated me fine, which is not a lie. He importantly does not put into his report that the new God of War told him to leave the town in 2 days.
I also think this is funny, like because there's references to like gods before, and like they're like, oh, this god's like coming through, or like we saw them, and you're like, so you're not really sure what a god is, and it's like, oh, this one's really good at like the banjo,
right?
Like this one's good at sewing, and like, oh, they're just normal people who like added something special to society. And he's like, so Silver's like, yeah, so we have mass violence now.
Yep. And also maybe there is an actual like god, because Silver like dreams of him. It's like this super tall like pale figure like wearing a mask who like walks hand in hand with Silver when he does these.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say horrible, which I guess like all violence is horrible, but they're trying to kill the people, which is really the central question of the book is mass violence ever the answer?
Right.
Because that's how it ends, and it's not answered. And in fact, at the very end of the book, Silver talks to the Hainish guy, and the Hainish guy, who would they have war in the other books? He's like, hey, so I like this Hainish guy. Lebanon is his name. He's like, he asks Silver, like, hey, so is there going to be any more violence? And he's like, no, you guys are leaving. And he's like, that is not what I'm talking about. You have introduced violence into they introduced violence into society through the whole thing, but violence now exists in your society. Like, are you going to be okay?
Have to like, deal with that. Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. And then the book ends.
And you're like, oh man.
Poor
well, I guess
Silver.
Jumping back. Okay, they all attack and kill everyone
in Centralville. They kill
in Centralville
every woman, every single woman,
because they specifically are like, if we leave them, they're going to populate, and they're never going to leave.
Yep.
And so,
and they leave Lyubov's house alone.
Yep.
They leave Lyubov's house alone. Lyubov goes outside. He walks down the street. He sees a scared woman. He tries to help her, and he gets crushed by a beam and dies from a burning building. And Silver, in his like dying, he picks up Lyubov's like head, and he's like, what are you doing? I told you to be out of here. And he says like, I don't remember what he says. He says something like horribly cryptic to him that Silver is like, oh, surely this is the dream world. But then he can like smell the fire and stuff, and then he knows that it's in the real world. And that's really where Silver starts to like, he has PTSD. Just they don't have a word for it.
Yeah. One, it's worse when you're like connected to all. You have this like intense, like psychedelic connection to all life and the world.
Yeah, it's no good.
Yeah, the Ashians kill them all and capture some of the leaders, whoever surrendered.
There's like 2,000 survivors.
Yeah.
Because they don't like kill if you surrender, they don't kill you.
I think there's definitely less than that.
There's 2,000.
There's 2,000, and then they keep them in the previous slave pens.
Yep.
And they use that Ansible to communicate with the ships, like, hey, so you guys should turn around and come pick these guys up.
Yep.
And they're gonna be here.
Well, no, they destroy the Ansible, because Colonel Dong is like, yeah, you blew up the building with the thing, like we could communicate. They're gonna be back in 3 years, and you're gonna have to explain it to them, and then like they could destroy your planet. And Colonel Dong says like, he doesn't say the word, but he's like, we also have nuclear bombs here too. Like, you have no idea the firepower that we have. You think it's just like helicopters and rifles, but it is not that. It is much, much worse. And Silver's like, okay, so I guess we'll talk to the people in charge in 3 years when they come back. Then.
And like the thing they keep bringing up is like, okay, there's 2,000 people on this planet, but the estimates is there's like 3 million Ethershians on this planet who can all sort of like, who are like leaderless and can like at any point sort of like organize and attack. And like, there's no sense that like, I mean, I guess it says this outright. They like don't understand the idea of like losses or like, like we're sort of done. That like I fully expect, like, if it went head to head, the Ashians would just like throw bodies at it until it's done, you know? And that's sort of like what Silver has brought into the world.
And Colonel Dong and the rest of the like high command is like, no, you're right. We agree to your terms. Like we'll destroy
we'll
all the
wait
weapons. Yeah. We'll wait here. And they're like, we need the helicopters. There's like 3 other logging camps. Like, can we please bring them? And they're like, yeah, you can bring them. But you're just going to stay here until your government comes, and then we can work something out. And they're like, okay. But
but Davidson,
that wily bastard, Don Davidson, he gets the message over the radio. He's like, oh, hell no.
Not on my planet.
He just like shoots the guy in charge of this logging camp, and he's like, I'm in charge now.
Boys.
And they're like, we're going to lead a rebellion. And he's talking to Colonel Dong and Captain Gossi on the radio. And they're like, you have to stop killing them. We signed this treaty, like you're ruining it. Not only for us. We're not worried about us. They've been perfectly nice to us. They're going to kill you all. Like, you don't stand a chance. And he's like, yeah, right.
And he's like, oh yeah, watch this. And he goes like kills one more like SG camp, and then with the boys. And he comes back, he's like, yeah, that was awesome, we can do that 100 times and then we'll win. And then he calls Dong, and Dong is like, okay, so if you don't stop, they're gonna kill us. So like, we need you to stop doing this. And he's like, this guy's a coward, we can take him.
There's a moment where he's standing outside and he's smoking a cigarette, and he sees a logger walking by, and the logger looks at him and is like, he's like, I am part of the great and holy machine. I can never be turned off. And like keeps walking, and he's like, these guys and their hallucinogens, man. And you're like, this is not a normal like acid trip, man. Something. You guys are fucked up. And then he literally is turning around. He's like, I just thought of a great, I just thought of a great zinger. I got to go tell my boy. And he turns around, and the Athsgians are pouring over the walls
out of the forest.
And they've set up these landmines, and they're just exploding them, and they just keep coming. And 3 of them just book it to a helicopter and leave. And then Davidson, even then, he's like, that was a tactical retreat. That was awesome. That was so tactical.
Well, and I think the creepiest thing is it's described as like, it's just purely silent. Like there's no screaming or yelling. Like it's them just walking out of the woods.
They don't have like a war cry.
Yeah, or if they just like, and they know, they're just like, we need violence is something you throw bodies and lives at until your goal is achieved. And they all understand that. So like, that's what they do.
And they justify it to themselves because they're like, mankind could never hurt mankind. Therefore, these are not men, and therefore we can kill them.
Yep.
So they do, and they leave on this helicopter. And I like this part of the book because Don Davidson suddenly starts calling everybody baby, and he's like, "It's smooth up here, baby." I was like, "What is this guy?"
And it's like, there's like no military men left, so it's like this engineer flying this helicopter, and
there's an engineer, a logger, and Captain Davidson are the 3 guys left.
And the guy's like, oh, look at our fuel. We have just enough to get back to Centralville. And David is like, we can take them. Let's just circle around a couple more times. I think we can take them.
And then there's like, no, we really should go to Centralville. And then Davidson takes out his gun and like puts it to his skull. And he's like,
I always knew you were a traitor.
Yeah. Yeah. He knocks out the logger. He's looking through the glass of the helicopter. He's like, God, though, these damn lights are too bright. Can't see a damn thing. Just reaches over, turn the lights off. Then the pilot's like, what the hell are you doing? And then they crash, obviously, because there's a bunch of trees.
Well, they can't see the camp because they're like, so normally you'd see the lights of the camp, but there must be somewhere around here. We're just not in the right area. Keep flying it, huh? And then they crash into a tree.
They crash into a tree. They wake up like, he wakes up still like buckled in sideways, like sandwiched in between. He like reaches for his light, and he's like, oh, that traitor pilot stole my light. And he like reaches for his gun, and he's like, oh, that other traitorous bastard took my gun. And so he like climbs out of the helicopter or whatever. He's like, God, it's going to be a long fall. And then he just like steps out, and he's like, that's white engineering right there. What a beautiful thing. And then he sees a light in the distance. That's obviously a torch. And he's like, that's my flashlight. And you're like, those are the Athsgians, buddy. And so he's sprinting after them, and then just like he turns a corner, and like the Athsgians are there. It's like, what are you gonna do? And since he learned earlier in the book that you lay down and expose your neck not to get killed, that's what he does. And he's like, I've only did that for 10 minutes, and the Athsgians are like, he laid there for like 14 hours, but they didn't kill him.
Yep,
they won't kill him, and he's begging them to kill him. He's like, not. I mean, the book, like, he's like, I'm not scared, but I mean, he's obviously terrified.
Well, and that's like his idea. He's like, I'm a good soldier. I'm gonna go down, like following orders and like doing this thing.
Yeah. Even though you stopped following orders weeks ago,
they don't kill him.
They don't kill him. They tie a noose around his neck, and then that's the last time we see him. They're like, by our custom, you're gonna go live on the part of the planet that has no trees.
Mm-hmm. On like a sandbar.
Yep, which means there's no food, but we'll bring you food and shelter, and you'll just live there. And so that's
I want to
do.
If the passage isn't too long, I do want to read it. So this is after Captain Davidson had like laid there all night with the Ethsheans watching him, and he's like, oh, kill me. And Selver is like, you want me to kill you after you just laid for 14 hours and always telling me not to kill you? And so Davidson, wants to die or whatever. And Selver says, we're both gods, you and I. You're an insane one, and I'm not sure whether I'm sane or not, but we are gods. There will never be another meeting in the forest like this meeting now between us. We bring each other such gifts as gods bring. You gave me a gift, the killing of one's kind, murder. Now, as well as I can, I give you my people's gift, which is not killing. I think we can each find each other's gifts heavy to carry. However, you must carry it alone.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Brutal. And then he lives, he's somewhere on a sandbar.
He also says, this is a little bit long, but I'm going to read it. This is just a little bit after that part. It might have been best, Selver answered, but Lyubov prevented you, as he now prevents me from killing you. All the killing is done now, and the cutting of trees. There aren't trees to cut on Renlip. That's the place you call Dump Island. Your people left no trees there, so you can't make a boat and sail from it. Nothing much grows there anymore, so we shall have to bring you food and wood to burn. There's nothing to kill on Renlip. No trees, no people. There were trees and people, but now there are only the dreams of them. It seems to me a fitting place for you to live, since you must live. You might learn how to dream there, but more likely you will follow your madness through to its proper end at last. Kill me now and stop and quit your damned gloating. Kill you, Selver said, and his eyes looking up at Davidson seemed to shine very clear and terrible in the twilight of the forest. I can't kill you, Davidson. You're a god. You must do it yourself. Holy buckets.
Stone cold. I've always thought this is very funny or interesting. I always thought, like, with certain crimes and such, I always have felt like if something's like bad enough, like if you kill someone because of it, that's like they get off easy. Yeah. Like I think it's honestly, I think
capital punishment more is paradoxical.
Yeah, more of a punishment to like keep them alive.
Yeah,
with what they did, which is what Davidson gets. And so like right at the end, the ship comes back, takes all the people, everything's fine. And Selver's talking to the Hainish guy, and they have the conversation we talked about, we put violence in your world, like what's next? He's like, I don't know. And Selver also is like, I'm glad they didn't ask about Davidson. And so all the humans leave except Davidson, who we never see again. But I think that's great. He's somewhere on a sandbar somewhere.
This I gotta there's some good stuff in here, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the translator is the god. Selver had brought a new word into the language of his people. He had done a new deed. The word of the deed, murder. Only a god could lead so great a newcomer as death across the bridge between worlds.
Jesus Christ. That's so good.
Because they dream of death, but only somebody could actually, like, a god could bring it from the dream world into the real world. The translator from the dream into the waking. And also literally the translator of English to Athshean, because he's the only one who can do it.
Damn. I honestly think, I was thinking about this as I was reading, I think even like Ursula K. LeGuin can't write, like this is very straightforwardly like a morality, political, like one-sided political book trying to make a point. But like even she can't make it 100% like straight or like 100 like as
there's a question, certainly,
as like or kitschy, or like straightforward, like say the movie Avatar.
Yeah,
like I also think like without the whole like dreaming part and like the brain waves and Athsheans dream things and like they have this whole cultural notion. I think without all that, this book is much flatter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It could be.
I found it. For if it's all the rest of us who are killed by the suicide, it's himself whom the murderer kills, only he has to do it over and over and over. Dude, So this is my. I said I had a fun fact beforehand, Danilo. I had not read this before. I think I can pretty confidently say this is my favorite book I've ever read.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I was just so taken by it. It's got everything. It's got all of the bullshit nerd stuff, which is like spaceships.
Yeah.
And then it has all of the stuff that you come to books for. Like this is, I don't know, man. It's a beautiful work by this is like genius.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole dream, I think you're totally right. Like going off of that, I think none of it works without the dream stuff. But how the fuck do you come up with that?
Right. Like in your sci-fi book, you're like a dream, and then like it's
in your
compared to like
Vietnam War
humans
sci-fi book. They're like, because it would just be fine enough if you were like, it would be fine enough if they were just like this human species.
Yeah.
But they have this connection to the ephemeral, this stuff that doesn't exist, which isn't like textually real. It's not like fucking the Tinkle land in fucking
go to,
Way of Kings or whatever, where you
yeah.
dream into a land. It's just like ideas exist in the dream world, but people are like, oh, those are dreams and I can derive meaning from them. But the translator can actually pull the things from the dream world into the real world, which is just like if you had a dream about going to get a book the next day and you went and you got the book, you would be viewed as like a god in this world.
Well, and it's like their cultural how they deal with like the idea of like imagination. Like if you like imagine writing something and you like write it and it's an idea and now it's in the world, like you're creating something, translating it from like the ephemeral mental place into like the real world.
Yeah.
And like that's alongside this like ecological, like, okay, so we can't just fuck up the planet. It's also like, I think because she knows like what ideas are like interesting or straightforward and like which ones have like the subtlety. Like the question of like, is mass violence justified? And at the end being like, it's like really good versus like, yeah, they killed them.
They're
good.
Which is Avatar.
Yeah, exactly.
And she literally says
that. Yeah.
I just think it's so funny. She said, a high budget, highly successful film, which completely reverses the book's moral premise, presenting the central and unsolved problem of the book, mass violence, as a solution. She states, I'm glad I have nothing at all to do with it.
Yeah, because Avatar is like, the answer is mass violence, and it's good.
Right. Which is like the people of this planet are doing mass violence as the response to the colonization of their planet. The movie paints that as the good and just response, which I'm sure, just like if you think about it for a second, is like, well, yeah, you don't want to just be trampled underfoot by the colonial powers that be, but also you have to live with that.
Yeah. Like that's always like the piece that is missing of those like sort of rebellion like the like sort of the stereotypical very like flat like rebellion stories where it's like, oh, what is the cost of the just necessary action?
Yeah.
And like that is very interesting.
Of the fantastic violence that you carried out
and who bears that weight, and it's poor Selver.
And it's not always going to be Luke Skywalker, folks.
And it's not like, oh, it's very unsanitized in this, like psychologically sanitized,
Yeah.
Because I think some people can be like, it's violence is gory, therefore like that's what makes it feel real, But then I think it's like, oh, what happens after is the real cost, I would say.
Yeah. And which we don't get to see. But the book doesn't end and it's like, they'll probably be all right. No, they've introduced war and literally the word murder into the planet. They'll start killing each other now over land and will presumably develop into a society like we have.
Yeah, again, like to write something so good that's like short, to the point, raises a lot of great questions, has some all-timer lines.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just sort of wrote this because I was mad about the Vietnam War. Because I'm mad. If I'm mad about the Vietnam War, I write a shitty ass book. It's very one-sided.
Yeah,
and probably too long.
I just got a text from my wife sitting on the couch. Boo, do you want to come over here for a second? You want to talk in the microphone?
I can't hear you. I mean, I can hear you, but I can't hear me.
That's fine.
Yeah. What's up? What's up?
You said we have to talk about the title of the book. Did you have something you wanted to say about it?
The word for world is forest on their planet and in their language. They don't have a word for world or planet. The word for their world is the word forest.
Yep.
Because that's their whole
existence.
That's the whole everything. Without the forest, there's nothing.
Well, and they're Athsheans, and the word Athshe means forest.
Yeah, literally. Yep. And there's a whole part about it is like Terra is the soil.
Yeah.
And Athshe is the tree. And there's no separating.
There's like a paragraph about this, right? Oh, it's so good.
There's no separating these people from their planet and their way of life, which is colonization in a nutshell. There's no, you don't go into a place and successfully subjugate or remove the people because it's their place. Like it feels so like silly to talk about that, but it's just ridiculous. The whole.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Why can't you control F a paper book?
I know. I wish. Or an audiobook. Control H for here. I think it's the Lee above chapter. I think there's only one of them.
Just talking about the words for places. And above all, Athshe, which meant the forest and the world. So earth, Terra, meant both the soil and the planet, two meanings and one. But to the Athsheans, soil, ground, earth, was not that to which the dead return and by which the living live. The substance of the world was not earth, but forest. Terran man was clay, red dust. Athshean man was branch and root. They did not carve figures of themselves in stone, only in wood.
What's the next? Wait. What's the next part? What page are you just on?
It.
I got it. Oh, maybe it's at a different.
But yeah, the whole like the dream connection with the world, like very like web of nature, and like the way that we as humans here think of one, like nature is separate and like something to use to achieve a goal. Like we don't think of ourselves as nature. You know, there's like the human stuff and nature, and those are like separate. But for them, there's not. And the point of this book is to think a little bit more about that and how that intersects with mass violence.
Yeah, really cool stuff, man.
It's good.
Not relatable.
Yeah, that's the. We'll switch to chatting about current events for a little bit.
Yeah, let's.
It is the whole idea of like, you know, what is the cost of the people who are fighting back? So, you know, being in Minneapolis, our city has felt very invaded by an external force willing to do violence on those around us. So this book felt very topical in that way.
Yeah, not taking our life in the sense that they're stealing and abducting our neighbors. They're not like here for, you know, fucking Juicy Lucy's, but they're here.
We're gonna mine the roads for Juicy Lucy's.
But they are here for the people who make this city awesome.
Yeah,
and what it is. So it's very real in that way. The big difference, obviously, being is that our resistance has been entirely peaceful.
Yep.
Because I mean, there's a line. I have to be careful with what I say.
Mm-hmm.
There's a line that, if crossed, would mean the end of everything. I mean, at least I think, and I think everybody is sort of aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
You might think like. I believe for a long time I was watching the ICE occupation. I don't remember what stupid fucking name they had of it, but in Los Angeles last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing those videos and thinking like, boy, it's only a matter of time before somebody does not just doesn't just fight back by pushing them.
Yep.
Part of me is a stunned and proud.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
That it has not happened. Nobody has attacked a federal agent in the way that they've, you know, executed two citizens.
In the way that they maybe feel as though they have been.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. But it goes to show like, okay, so today Tom Homan was like, it's over. He was like, ladies and gentlemen, the occupation is over.
Mission accomplished.
Which, you know, I don't believe. Obviously, I would hope for that to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, we just kind of go back to existing in a world where there's like 150 federal agents, which the idea is like, in my opinion, that the whole fucking thing doesn't exist anymore.
Well, and also, this is very like of the moment. Is that true? They're trying to pass a funding bill in the Senate. Is that just to pass this bill and then it's business as usual? Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah. And also the whole, just keeping in mind, the whole thing is such an obvious distraction from the fact that we have learned what the QAnon among us has suspected the entire time, that the whole government is a pedophile ring.
Everyone in charge of our country is a pedophile.
Yeah.
Or
associated with a known pedophile.
Associated and covered for, and something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, you're talking about like that line is two things. The line of, when does nonviolent resistance become violent resistance is something, I think as a city or people involved in this have been very keenly aware of for multiple weeks, for many weeks, which is an interesting place to be if you've never been there before.
Yeah.
Because I know I certainly haven't, like, in this specific way.
Yeah.
Another thing, too, is like...
The closest other thing was in 2020.
Right.
Which also happened in Minneapolis.
Yep.
But you also felt this, like, you see this just horrific murder of George Floyd, and you're like, well, what can we do? Just like go to places and yell. And in Minneapolis, like at the time, some people, I don't know any of them, took it into their hands to take it a step further. There is no longer that police station, for instance. And it worked.
Well, and this is the other thing. Yeah. Like, he was arrested the next day because of what happened.
Yes.
And
you may
I believe not a single, no ICE agent or federal officer has to this point been held accountable for any of the legal things they have done, and likely they will never be held accountable for that.
Yeah. The people of Minneapolis are responsible for the arrest of Derek Chauvin because of intensely, people want to call it a riot is the word I'm trying to avoid. I think that's bullshit in the way that, like, Fox News is like, they're rioters, they're agitators. Like, no, the people who live here fucking made shit happen, and justice was done, and the MPD is different now, or at least Brian O'Hara would like us to believe that is the case, even though they are also there every single time, tear gassing and shooting rubber bullets at protesters. And so with this ICE, it's a tricky situation. I think everybody is keenly aware that we were dealing with our city's officials and our city's police department. We're still dealing with that, obviously, but this is the federal government. And Trump has liked to throw around the Insurrection Act. And I think everybody is keenly aware that if something were to happen again, say, I guess the most analogous thing would be like if people, I don't know, broke into the Whipple building, actually did something like that. I think people are keenly aware that it would most likely be game over.
Yeah, like it would initiate a historic... a crackdown one would read in history books later.
Yes.
I was going to say something, but I don't remember what it was.
Talking about...
the feeling of...
Nailed it.
All, like, the people here, like the government, the organs of government, who are here to ostensibly protect the people, are in this, like, like... We live in a society. All
the Joker.
All government and power structures are made up.
Yeah.
To have, a governor, a mayor, a police force, other representatives be like, well, we've done all we can do.
Yeah, I know.
And
we haven't.
And still having armed, masked men going door to door, kidnapping people, pulling them out of their cars. I can't, all of us are driving down the highways We see abandoned cars on the side of the highway all the time.
Yeah, I can't express if you don't like live in a place, and I pray that this will never happen to you. But that is it's like in your it's crazy.
Well,
there are no words.
It's like a mind. It's like a crazy mind fuck. And like I've never, I feel like I'm a healthily skeptical person. But growing up in the United States, in Minnesota, especially like as a white man, you're like, and even as like a very left leaning white man, you're like, okay, but when push comes to shove, the institutions are there to protect me, white man, at least, not that I'm like expecting that, or like I also know that's not true.
Right.
But like, it's a different thing to like see it and feel it in such a tangible way. Like everything pointing at like, oh, so we're on our own.
Yeah.
And all these things in a way that I think at least I haven't felt before,
Yeah, I do.
In a keen way, and like a non like I could express that intellectually, like I knew that intellectually, but like to feel it in like a very visceral way is a very different thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and people of color have been, obviously this is not new for them. And so you just try to, I don't even know what to say. There's so many at the end. I'm so proud, like I've been going on like walks and stuff or whatever. I have never felt more close to my neighbors before.
Yep.
Like meeting somebody, like I went to go to this, I guess I can say it. There's a restaurant in Uptown called World Street Kitchen. And they have a big sign. Now they do have a big sign that says, like no, obviously it says like no federal agents or whatever, but it's also like no face coverings, no anything you're allowed to like go into this building with. And I was picking up food from there, and I walked in, and I don't know, I just had this like moment with the person behind the counter where there was just like such like this bond of community that I had not felt before. Or had not been at the forefront of my mind. I don't walk around all day being like, fuck you. But I'm just saying, when you see somebody, everybody is against this who lives in the city. And so there's no question.
Gets it. Like you're on the same page.
Yeah. Even like Republicans who like live in the city are like, this is outrageous. And it's like, well, he told you he was going to do it and you voted for it. But yes, I agree. It's ridiculous. And the best time to change your mind would have been a year ago. But if you're doing it now, I guess that's fine. But it has been a very real, like, it's brought the community closer together. I can't help but feel guilt in that I am experiencing. This is what I was trying to say before. I can't help but feel guilt in experiencing in my comparatively very privileged white life for the first time what black and brown people have been experiencing for hundreds of years.
Yeah, like all the time. And that's, I guess, what I was saying before is trying to get at that.
Yeah,
too.
and like there's no way like I can't just say I'm sorry. And it's not as if I was like, God, these guys are really overreacting about this. But I just never.
Yeah, and now, it's not like we're like, what's that all about? And now, like, oh, we get it. Like, that's not what we're saying.
But that is what's happening.
Yeah.
And so it's made me feel very guilty in that aspect of just having the, I'm not, I don't like the police. The police are an institution that was designed to catch and return slaves to plantations. But like you were saying, you do just sort of go through your life as a white cis man, just being like, I'm fine. And I have no words. Like, I'm so sorry that this has been happening to you for so long. And I've been, try to do what I can. Been like, it's not the first time I've been at a protest or anything. So I've been out there trying to, trying in my way to make the world a better place, but it's just, there's no way for me to like, I don't know. There's no words for being like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Because that makes you sound like a lunatic.
Well, and I like, for me, like this specific situation, like in the way we've been talking about, like, I think has made me like feel my privilege in that way.
Oh yeah. Big time.
And again, we're not saying that like we didn't get white privilege before. You know, like in an intellectual way versus like a very like real embodied way. Like being able to feel that, and like this is and being able to like, oh, I can use this to like do something. You know, to like go to protests or like do this thing where, you know, like being on a patrol watching for ICE agents around your neighborhood, you know, something like that. And then feel like, okay, if there's other people who can't do this, but like I feel safe enough to be able to do this, like that's something I can do, you know?
Yeah.
Which is I think very different from even like 2020 or like, at least for me, any other sort of like political moments that have occurred. Because it's so hyper local, even not even like, Minneapolis, but like South Minneapolis too, you know?
Yeah.
Like even talking to my parents who like live, not even really suburbs, but like, you know, they're not getting ICE agents in St. Anthony Village, Minnesota.
Right. Yeah, it's indescribable.
Yeah.
Like you can't put it into words. Especially, you know, I don't know. There's a lot I have a lot of feelings and thoughts, but I should have maybe written them down, but like we live incredibly privileged lives. And honestly, I'm sorry. Like I wish that everybody could just sort of waltz through their day-to-day, not worried about the feds.
Yep. Ruining their life.
Yeah, but we don't. We have never existed in that world. And
the illusion, it's like I think everything that happens is like another tearing away at that illusion bit by bit, you know?
Yeah. And the powers that be forever have just tried to keep, that's a good way to put it, have just tried to keep the illusion that everything is fine.
Yeah, or like, oh, it's not happening to you, so it's fine, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Like
that's
it's awful that it's happening, but it's not happening to you.
And for like other people like who maybe aren't in Minneapolis, you're like, oh, but I'm not in Minneapolis, so like it'll be fine. Like they'll never come to where I am.
Right.
And like that's not true.
No, it's not true. And it all stems from that fucking moron talking about Somalian fraud.
All that to say, this book I think hit in a way it would not have hit otherwise. I think.
Yeah, really. And to read a book about rebellion that's not at a 4th grade reading level is pretty cool.
It wasn't a rebellion; it was a revolution. What?
You keep using those words interchangeably. But yeah, man, I don't know. There's a lot to say. We're out there doing what we can. If you live in Minneapolis and you listen to this show and you know somebody who is or you are afraid to, you know, leave your house or whatever, and you feel comfortable doing this, please, you know, email us. We can give you food. We can go grocery shopping for you. I put out that on my Instagram. So if you know anybody or you have somebody that needs help in that way, please let us know. And I will personally do it. I totally get if you're like, that's an insane thing to ask for and you're not going to do it. But yeah, we just want to help in any way I can. This podcast makes no money, or else I'd be like, we're going to donate. I have been giving money, but you know, you just do what you can. And also, I've been like, I Google it every day, and try to read what the news is like. Stop reporting on it. They only care when another person gets killed.
Well, and as of today,
they're
like, they said they were going to stop. Yeah. Yay!
It's still happening. In fact, after the drawdown of 700 agents, ICE activity went up. It's just that they didn't kill anybody. There was like a horrific crash in St. Paul yesterday, or 2 days ago, but nobody died, so nobody cares. Yeah, but it's like, no, it's still happening. Like people are being ripped from their homes. There's no the government would like us to believe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But there's not. And fucking, you know, Tim Walz and Jacob Frey, who is reelected to office after doing the same bullshit liberal grandstanding he did in 2020, that everybody all the white people are like, yeah, but at least he's not Somalian, right? So we have to vote for him.
But he's so handsome, Mac.
Oh my God. It's just the whole thing is a fucking joke. And I think people really forgot because it's like, Fry abandoned everybody in 2020 and people were like, oh, he gets his, ICE get the fuck out of Minneapolis sound bites. People are like, oh my God.
Goes on CNN once.
Awesome. And he was the reason no justice happened in 2020. And then, the people had to take it into our own hands.
Because I think the real deal is that on paper, the mayor is in charge of the police department. But I think if push comes to shove, the mayor is not in charge of the police department. And I think that is not something our mayor is willing to find out. And I think that is the issue. Yeah.
They're all cowards, and we just need to have each other's backs, and we don't. And before any fucking Republicans want to say anything, like, yes, I know the only reason ICE has the amount of money that it has is because Obama gave it to them. I'm not, I don't like those guys either. I'm just saying.
Don't forget that's also why everyone's insurance went up.
Yes. Yes. This is not it's not a fucking, it's never been a bipartisan issue. It should not be a bipartisan issue. It's a human issue. Yeah, man.
Yep. I think what we'll do, we'll probably like throw some links in the description about like, if you're listening to this, you might want to help.
There's some GoFundMes of people I know whose people have been disappeared off the streets.
Yeah. I recently set one up for
yourself.
Myself, yeah. This is really me reading in my apartment has really been hard on me this past month. No, I'm a part of the Ukrainian community in Minneapolis, and one, I don't know, probably several at this point. I don't know. My dad knows a Ukrainian refugee who came from the war in Ukraine, lived in Minneapolis, and I guess I scanned his plates, picked him up, dragged him out of his car, left is still running in the street, flew him to Texas that same day. He had all his papers on him. Completely, he's like, they also completely legal. He could stay in the country until May. Somehow his wife found out that happened because like they don't tell anyone. They just like take you, and they had to end up paying like $5,000 for like for legal fees to like get him back, which is insane because like they were going to ship him off to like, were they going to ship a Ukrainian man to Mexico?
Right.
And now they're like, do we go back to our war-torn country because like we're not going to get deported there, which is insane. It's anyway crazy.
They don't. They just do whatever. Like they do whatever they want. They're detaining Native Americans.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of racist lunatics. And yeah, it's still happening. I don't know of any there was at the Whipple building some shit popped off, but just because there hasn't been another murder doesn't mean it isn't still happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that the federal government is doing illegal things every day, constantly.
Yeah, they don't care.
Well, and that's the point, is you normalize it, and then it's like, oh, federal agents have always been able to disappear people off the streets. And you're like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, I know.
Don't show up to a protest and get your face scanned. Otherwise, the federal agents might disappear you off the street.
And that's something...
And that's just normal now.
Yeah. If you're going to go to a protest, you gotta cover up, man. No tattoos, no visible tattoos, no visible piercings, and you got to cover your face if you're really going to go out and you're really going to do it. Go to the hardware store, and if you're planning on painting your house, you should get a respirator.
Mm-hmm. So for the fumes from the paint.
For the fumes for the paint.
If you don't want to get any stuff in your eyes too, I would suggest goggles with no vents.
Perhaps if you're a skier.
Yeah, a skier.
Yes, you should wear goggles. I was at immediately after Alex Preddy was killed. I was there, and did not have any of that stuff. My luck, I've been to a lot of protests throughout since. I'm not saying this so people are like, wow, nice. Since like 2016 or whatever. I'm 25, about to be 26. When I say since 2016, I was a child. I was not like a grown
Is this
man.
Twitch PII?
Yeah. I don't care. It's over anyway. Palantir listens to this podcast.
Your name's on it.
But in my luck, generally I've showed up after, just not on purpose, just after things have escalated to that point. And this time was the first time that I had been there before that point, and had sort of had it in my head that I don't really remember what I was thinking. I just want to tell this story.
Yeah.
Just so like people can get it, like, this is what happened on this day. So I got there, and 27th and Nicollet. Nicollet is a street in Minneapolis where Alex Preddy was murdered, also known as Each Street, because there's a bunch of restaurants on there. And we got there, and there were agents, obviously. So at first I thought, and this goes to the point about like the police are helping them, because when I got there, it was just ICE. There was like 4 ICE agents, and I can't remember if they had taped it off, but I don't believe they did. And so, you get there, and I was just standing there peacefully protesting, federally observing, if you will. And I noticed like tufts on the ground started like dirt was like popping up on the ground by my feet. And I didn't really realize what was happening. They're shooting rubber bullets at my feet is what was happening. And then a flashbang exploded like right in my face. And then I realized what was happening. I was like, oh, this is this part of it. A tear gas canister went off near me, and was, clothes, everything covered in tear gas, covered in my eyes. And that sort of back and forth happened like 3 or 4 times. The last 2 times was explicitly the Minneapolis Police Department. At that point, ICE had like retreated to Nicollet proper, and the SWAT team and the actual FBI were there doing it as part of their retreat.
Their cover up.
Yes. And so they fired like one last volley. You may have seen there was, a bunch of right wingers making fun of this person, but a flashbang grenade exploded in somebody's hand. I was, there for that. There was a guy like drowning in the tear gas that I helped cross the street, and was doing first aid and showing people like about the trick to wash tear gas from your eyes, because these are just people who showed up, and people don't know how to do that, and I do know how to do that. And so I was teaching people, and people were doing it to me, obviously, because it's pretty hard to do it to yourself. And all the while, to the point of you need the proper gear, I had expected to show up late again, as is my luck. So I just had a scarf and no ear protection or eye protection or lung protection. And you need to hide your face, but you should not be wearing like a scarf if they're going to tear gas, because it got into the scarf. And I did not realize at the time, obviously I'm worried about other shit going on, that I had been breathing in the tear gas for hours at that point, because it would just keep coming and getting into the scarf, and I still had it covered over my face. And when the adrenaline wears off, and when the police had left, and we were setting up the memorial on Nicollet, I was like, hey, I think I need to leave, because I just started to like feel really wobbly. And on the way to the car, I was like, oh, I need to go to the hospital. Yeah. So if you're gonna go out, you do need that stuff. Just to say this into the world: do it safely and legally. That I was everybody there that I saw and interacted with was doing everything safely and legally.
Yeah, you can legally stand on the street in public.
No, everybody
and look at a federal officer or a state officer.
Everybody was exercising their right as outlined in the bill of them,
the Constitution,
to protest. Nobody was doing anything illegal. And regardless, they don't care because they're, violent thugs who work for the federal government who
have carte blanche to do whatever they want.
Who got pissed watching their NFL team lose and saw a commercial for ICE about you get a $50,000 signing bonus, which we could really use to get the podcast off the ground.
Which maybe we both.
That's $100,000. But yeah, they were shooting rubber bullets at me. I was there with other people. I'm not going to say their names. I don't know if they would want me to. Shooting. So when I say me, I mean the group of us. But they were shooting rubber bullets at me. I was tear gassed and hit with concussive grenades. Afterwards, when everything was had littered the street, it was like a war zone. And there are pockets of that happening. Like ICE was at a park in North Minneapolis. I don't think it Powderhorn is South Minneapolis. I don't think this was Powderhorn. I think it was a park in North Minneapolis. But every single time they leave somewhere and there's any sort of pushback, it's the flashbangs, it's the tear gas, it's the rubber bullets, it's the pepper balls, which shoot at the ground and explode in pepper, the compound that's in mace that gets in your eyes. And I tell that story not for anybody to be like,
is going to be in the description too.
Never. Oh, that poor white guy. Just to say, like, if you haven't heard from somebody who has been there, and just seen pictures of like the aftermath, it is a war that you are fighting with like signs.
Yeah, and you're not like a riot chaser. It's not like you're going out there. You're like, this weekend I'm going to see what sort of trouble
I'm going to agitate.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, I was mad about this thing, and so I went there to be like, hey, I'm here, and you were violently attacked.
Yes,
just for being there.
And me and tons of other people were. And so, like, I don't know. I don't need to fucking read what CNN is saying specifically about it because I was there. But if you've seen any reports about agitators or whatever, specifically on Nicollet, because that's what I was there for. I've also been at the Whipple building. I have not seen any agitation there either. But on Nicollet, I can tell you that none of that was happening. It was unprovoked attacks by the federal government.
Are ICE.
Yes. Like I don't know how often somebody, like, we have a platform, but with a platform can say like, I was actually there at this thing.
A normal guy was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say all that to say, like, nobody was doing any agitation or anything illegal, and we were violently attacked. And this, as far as I know, the thing at the Whipple building where they suddenly declared an unlawful protest and arrested 40 people is the latest thing. That level of like assault and attack is not an everyday thing. It does happen when ICE feels the most scared because they are cowards, and is a sign, as unfortunate as it is, that whatever we're doing is working, because they don't do that for no reason.
Yep. Or it's to, boost their arrest numbers for the day or something like that.
True.
That's also probably part of it.
I think I saw one person detained and pulled behind the line at the Nicollet protest. I think it was because there were some folks sitting down right in front of them. I think during their first advance, one of them refused to move and was detained. I'm sure in that case they've been let go, but I mean, it's horrific.
Yep. Now you might be wondering where I was during all this. I was in a Home Depot training my dog with a 1,000-yard stare the whole time.
That happened to me. Renee Good was killed 9 a.m. I think, and I was at work in the
on a Saturday
middle
too?
of something. That was on a Wednesday.
Okay.
And I was at work in the middle of something, and just when like the Apple News or whatever like pops up on your phone, then it's just like, oh, I can't leave. I can't do anything. And so I was excited that I could go and do something and help. And then, we were attacked for, I don't know, getting tear gas out of people's eyes. That illegal thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bullshit because they declared when we were there, they played over the thing. They're like, this is an unlawful assembly, but they didn't do it. There's no how. Like nobody's doing anything illegal.
Everything is the thinnest layer of justification in order to placate, like to a certain extent, like we were talking about, like breaking the illusion. Like at a certain point, actions get so obscene that I think a lot of people have a hard time like believing it. And so in order to maintain that illusion, people will believe whatever justification they are given.
Yeah. Well, they were there.
Yeah.
They declared an unlawful assembly.
Yeah, therefore it was unlawful.
You don't ask why did they do that,
or what are the qualifications for an unlawful assembly? Can they do that once it's declared? Can you immediately start shooting pepper balls at people? Like they don't ask those questions. It's like, oh, this is what happened, therefore that's what happened, and everything is still good. Order prevails in the world.
Yep. I don't know. I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Be safe out there. Especially, I hear Philadelphia is next. So if you're in Philadelphia, just please be safe. And hope if you're listening to this and you're from my great state, my home state of Pennsylvania, buy a fucking respirator, get ear protection and eye protection if you're going to go out there, and know your rights, man.
Yep.
You got to know your fucking rights.
Now, what else can we say about the Ashians? Did we say they're green and furry?
I think so. I think so. They remind me of Wicket from Return of the Jedi. But just imagine all that happening, and then you have to come home and read Iron Flame.
Yeah, exactly.
You come
Zayden.
home, you're laying in bed for hours, and you can't breathe or see because the gas is still in. You're like, oh, I reach for Iron Flame and crack it open.
I told Danilo we were going to record on Thursday.
But we're going to get back into it.
Violet was walking across the bridge.
We're going to get back into it. She already walked across the bridge, Danilo. That was the first book. Come on. The word for world is forest. What a book.
Yeah, I read it in a day, so.
Yeah, you can read it in a day.
Easy, good. We'll be back with our regular slop next time.
Yes.
Because need I remind you that when you're done with Iron Flame, we're both reading the third A Court of Thorns and Roses books, and we're both reading the third Fourth Wing
which
book.
will be fun because we've told each other what happens, but we haven't actually had to read it, and I think that's so funny. Have you read it, A Court of Mist and Fury? I read the third one. Why?
Yeah, you're the only person on planet Earth who's done such a thing.
Yeah. And also, this is important. There's 3 books. We may have said this last time, but there's 3 books in the Empyrean trilogy, Rebecca Yarros. There's 5 in yours. We're stopping at 3.
I think there's going to be 2 more in the Rebecca Yarros thing. Yeah.
Are they different
they're not
in a different world?
I think it's this. I think it's the same story.
Oh my God. I thought there was only 3.
They're not out yet, so I think we can
That's
stop.
stunning to me that they're not out yet already.
AI exists and those books aren't out yet.
Oh, we might. Interesting. I forgot about that. I think I said that last time, that AI wasn't like as prevalent of a thing when the first 2 came out.
Yeah, was that
2 years
3
ago?
years ago?
Yeah. 3. Oh, now it's 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. I wonder how much of it. I wonder if you could just like copy paste all of it and put it into one of those AI checkers.
That's what you're thinking. Like,
yeah.
Or not even a checker, just to be like, hey, can you make a 4th one? Put the first 3 in, and you're like, one more. And just press the one more button.
And we should compare them live and see which one is better.
Oh man, I don't think I have anything else to say.
No, I don't. Be safe out there, everybody. I'm sorry that this is happening.
And I think something I felt more keenly in the past month, and that this book reaffirms, is that we're all the same. We're all connected. We're all here for a short time.
In the words of a wise woman, we did it, Joe. We did it.
We did it. Anyway, stay green.
Yeah. Stay green, everybody.
Like Jill Stein.
Like this would have never happened. This would have none of this would ever happen.
Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, right.
Stay Stein, everybody.
Stein 2028.